All right, hi everyone. Tonight is special video on the 9019 Bespoke Flex Ultra Pens. Some guy has got some 9019s by Jinhao and got his Dremel to it and had a bit of a go. He's taken a $10 pen, turned it into a $100 pen, and it's gone from one of the best, really low-cost writers into the best flex pen I've ever seen. Not bad, hey? So I got a shout out here for Jeff Clayman for pointing out that Vincenzo at Fountain Pen Therapy had made a call on this, and I'm sorry for not getting back to you sooner, but yeah, we've got not just one, because I told you I got this one. I've actually got two. So this one's the conical one. It's a bit different from the other main one, but I guess we're just gonna have to go through them, see what you think. Let's go, everyone. All right, so I know you're all going to love my new IKEA bath mat backing. Isn't this nice? Yeah, it's been an ongoing problem. I've got a really, really nice black background, which is my Mussel black, ultra black fabric. But it doesn't contrast as well, you know, when you've got these dark pens. And also this kind of fluffy nodular sort of bath mat thing means that you can leave them sitting upright and they don't swap or like fall over and move around when you don't want them to. So I tell you what, that's a little tip for everyone else. Yeah, IKEA bath mats, that's where it's at. All right, back to the topic. So we've got the 9019. Here are a few of them. First up, let's show you a real 9019, the original. This is it right here. A medium, is it? Let's have a look here. No, fine, okay. So it's a Jinhao nib, it's a fine, it has a gigantic cartridge converter here, this massive chamber here that was built for the 9019. So it's a really, really well-made pen, you know, O-rings and everything. But someone thought to themselves, you know what? I don't really need a $10 pen, I need a $100 pen, and it needs to be extra special. I'm going to do stuff to it and turn it into a monster. This is that monster. So this one here, I've shown you in a short. It's had quite a bit of interest. It's really very, very unusual. Let me just zoom in here a bit. All right, so the first thing you can see here is that this nib has those wings that you see on, you know, the Canwrite Ultraflex nibs. Yeah, that is the real deal. And more so than that, you've got that slit that goes from the tip all the way down right into the nib unit, right down in there. Yeah. What else we got? So the feed is standard, almost. I think actually on the inside there's a little bit of a difference where he's gone in and taken a knife and sliced it a little bit to get an extra bit of ink flowing through there. And finally, when you look at where that cartridge converter was, well, it's just completely gone. So this pen now is just eyedroppered, and it is this gigantic reservoir here because the 9019 capacity is absolutely ginormous. All right, so that's this one. You've seen it. I showed you that one already, but what I hadn't shown you was this one. So this one here, my goodness, is even more nuts. He's gone a little bit further with the knife, with the Dremel, and there it is. Look at that nib there. Isn't that absolutely insane? So that is not just needlepoint, that's hypodermic grade right there. That is the sharpest extra fine I've ever seen. And they've given it the Ultraflex treatment again, so it's chopped off all the way down. This time the feed has been chopped down as well, and again, there's no cartridge converter in there either. So we have ourselves an absolute Frankenstein right here. Well, the monster of the Frankenstein. It's an easy mistake to make. Everyone always says that. But anyway, all right, so we've got two of them here. Might zoom out a little bit. Yep, that's a bit better. Okay, so I'm not the greatest calligrapher of all time, right? I'm a lefty, and I'm an overwriter, and I'm an Australian. So I'm sorry, everyone, but yeah, I'm just not going to be all that good at getting the best out of this pen. But you know who is? The person who made them. And you know what? When you buy one of these pens, you get this, not just a certificate of authenticity, you get yourself an example of what you can do if you know what you're doing. And so we've got this beautiful writing demo of what you can do with that pen by someone who knows how to wield it. So there you go, everyone. That's that one. That is the one. That's my main one, is it? Yeah. And then this is the other one. This is the needlepoint one, where, I mean, tell you what, if that isn't an extra fine, yeah, you're going to need yourself an electron microscope to resolve that. We can't really measure that. It's just too fine. I think, yeah, we'll definitely need to get it under a maybe even a TEM, like, or a FESEM at least. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's just bonkers. Look at that line variation. It's nuts. Now, I haven't had much luck with this one. I mean, you know, I say I'm not very good at writing. I'm not, but I'm going to try anyway. So let's get ourselves some paper and see how we go. Okie dokie, let's get cracking. All right, so first up, we've got the real deal 9019. So this is the $10 beauty that you can get on AliExpress for next to nothing from pretty much anyone. This is so Jinhao, how are we going for focus? Yeah, it's pretty good. Jinhao, I even call it, what is it, the Dadao, AO, probably, 9019. This is a fine, so it's an F, and it is Conpecky, of course. Con-freaking-pecky, and what can I say? Okay, line variation, a bit of pressure. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty nice, isn't it? It really is. And then less pressure. Yep. All right, so it's a nice pen. It's really good for $10. It's probably as good as it gets for $10. Yeah, I mean, you think about it. A cartridge converter by Pilot costs you what? It costs you about that just to get a Con 40, let alone a Con Gigantic. I mean, that's a Con 1000. It's enormous. That's the kind of Con that you get on a oh no, forget it. I'm not even going to try and joke about that. Shouldn't joke about Pilot pens because they're just so good. You know, it's not really fair. Anyway, let's move on. Here is the best. This is the best flex pen of all time. Well, you know what? No, I can't say that. This is my best ever flex pen. So, best pen of the last 18 months. That's about as long as I've been playing with fountain pens. So, let's show you what I mean. So, no force at all. It's quite a fine line. Very smooth. But, you know, it very rapidly opens up with very little force. Zoom in a bit more than that. Can we? Yeah, we can do that. All right. So a little bit more there. And then how much? It can go, I mean, come on. Huh. That's bonkers. That's more bonkers than I expected to be able to do right here. But let's give ourselves a loop. Oop. Didn't really do it, but it's hard with the angles. I've got this tripod here in the way, but I mean, seriously, come on. That is some serious line width. And it's very good flow, right? Like just for a standard Jinhao feed here, the plastic one is really nice. And I mean, look, that is really keeping up. And I went very quickly there as well, didn't I? It, you know, I was not really giving it its best chance of survival, and yet I'm sort of trying to look at the camera, which is miles away, and doing this at the same time. It's a bit silly. It's just a lot of ink. Just keeps going and going. And, you know, it really does, because the volume in here, I mean, that's got to be more than the Gravitas Monster, doesn't it? That is a lot. That really is. Yeah, the ink flow from the chamber there into the nib, or into the feeder underneath is very, very good. I mean, there's not all that much changed to that feed. It's just had one little bit out the top scraped, but I'm not going to take it apart here, you know, like I could, but let's just leave it alone. There's just far too much ink, and yeah, connoisseur of chaos here just knows that if I open that thing up, it's going to go everywhere, isn't it? It's likely to go everywhere even if I don't open it up. But, yeah, let's just leave it. What about the other one? All right, let's move on to this one here. So this one, the conical section one, they call it cone-shaped nib. I mean, take a look at it. Look at that. He's chopped off 1/3 from both ends, and we've got that point. Let's go right in, shall we? Right up. I mean, really? Man, you could kill someone with that. In fact, I think I've seen someone in Game of Thrones get killed with one of these. They look really badass, don't they? Anyway, what can it do on paper? Well, with me, it just kind of cuts in and it's like a scalpel. Check this out. You can, yeah, it works. It opens up pretty well as well, but for me, not as well. But I mean, look at the fineness of this thing. When you go, that is the finest line from a pen that I have ever seen. That is nuts, isn't it? Look at that. It's absolutely bonkers crazy fine. It's quite controllable too. This paper's better than, what was I using before? I was using Rhodia. Let's just go out a bit so I can try and do some loops here. How's it going to go? Okay, here. Yeah, wow. Not too bad, Simon. Well done. Look at that. I did some loops and it worked. But yeah, you can hear the scratching, can't you? It's just very, very, very fine, and it just wants to eat into the paper. But yeah, it's beautiful. What do you reckon? 100 bucks? 100 Aussie, right? So it's not 100 US, although with tariffs it probably is, because, you know. You guys, I'm so sorry. Anyway. Yeah, Australia's usually a few years behind the States, so it's probably going to be our turn in a bit, but I don't know. It's going to take a lot. Yeah. Don't be political, Simon. People don't like that. Yeah, right, fair enough. Okay. I think we're done. Good enough? Happy? I am. All right, everyone. Enjoy your evening. Ta-ta.